This is where we see. Okay, we appear to be live. So, good morning, everybody. Now, I just want to say that there is a lot happening this morning out in the world of the big online businesses. So, if you are there, if you can see us, okay, please send me a message. Let me know that you are there. Okay, say hi, put a message in the chat. If you send a message in the chat, we can see it here. Okay, we can give you a shout out, we can wave to you as well. Let's face it, okay, if you're running your own business, okay, and you're not using Notion, which Audrey was telling me is up and running this morning, or you're not using Google, okay, most of the other platforms are down. So Canva is down and Thrivecart is down and Zoom is kind of, well, it's deciding what it wants to be up to this morning, but StreamYard is working. That means that Audrey and I are here. We are here to say hi and then kind of, yeah, you know, come with our live on time this morning. We promised 10:30. No Amazon AWS outage is going to stop us. So
we're here to entertain you while you can't do anything else.
Exactly. So we should have throngs of people joining us this morning from all sorts, okay? Because they've got nothing else to do. Well, I'm going to say that. I'm sure lots of people have got lots of things to be doing this morning, but we are probably the most entertaining place to be this morning. And you can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. So we are streaming everywhere. So now, like I said, if you're there, come and drop a question in the chat. Okay, we can see you. So, good morning, Audrey. Good morning.
How are you?
Me, fabulous. It's been a fun morning already. Already rearranged a Zoom call. Okay, so I'm doing really well this morning. So, but it's all good. It's all good. So, yeah. Well, and you was completely unaware of any issues this morning because you wasn't using anything attached to Amazon.
Yeah, I was in Notion, I was in Google, and I was in MailerLite. And it wasn't until you messaged me that was like, there's a small problem this morning. Okay.
Yeah, luckily we were not affected. Not for this. Yeah. Not for this anyway.
We're good.
So exactly. So I just want to say to everybody watching, hello and welcome. And I'm really glad you're here for Magic Meets Creativity. So today we're going to dive into the journey of yet another incredible lady. Okay. And you know, all of these women that I meet on these series, okay, and we're going again this week with meeting somebody every day this week, okay. All of these women have, you know, pushed their creativity, you know, they've got their own businesses going, okay, and they are really kind of now locking down the next level. So this chat is about real stories, real people, okay. It's a glimpse of really what's possible when you're resilient, okay, when you have imagination and more determination, like to get online this morning. So we're going to keep it informal and interactive as well. So like I said, if you are there, drop a question in the chat, drop a message there, let us know that you're there, because then we can see you. I can ask Audrey your questions as well. So I'm really thrilled to announce, and good morning, Audrey.
Hi.
Good morning. Good morning.
Delighted to be here. Thank you for asking.
No, it really is my pleasure because, yeah, I mean, well, you've just been up to something really extraordinary and you've mentioned it briefly already this morning. And I do think that in terms of the creativity world, okay, people need to know who you are. So, I mean, I think that you know, the spotlight needs to be shone a little bit on you. So, should we start with, I mean, share a little bit about your journey and what inspired your creative path?
I've been knitting and crocheting for since I was little. My gran had the patience to sit and teach me how to do both, and my mum is also a knitter, so it's always kind of been around, and I really enjoyed it. Didn't do a lot through kind of my teenage years, and then I went to uni, and I didn't do a lot then. But once I settled into work, I did take it up again, and I've just loved knitting. But both hobbies really came into their own when I became ill with chronic fatigue syndrome, ME, post-viral fatigue, whatever name you want to call it. And it got to the stage that was literally about all I could do. I figured out a way to crochet the minimum of hand movements. So I was like using as little energy as possible. And then once I started to feel a bit better, my brain kind of came back before the rest of me physically, and I needed something to entertain me that wasn't just watching endless documentaries on Sky TV and BBC News, whatever, you know. So I started learning new techniques for knitting, and then I started to question, well, why is the designer doing that in a pattern? And wouldn't it be better to do this? And I got to the stage that I can't just knit a pattern anymore. I see these fabulous patterns and I get them and I'm like, oh, damn, why don't you do that? Why don't... So yeah, it's kind of, it's good because I can now, you know, do a lot of things that I didn't know I could do. I didn't think I could do. So yeah, I'm the sort of person who needs to keep my brain challenged or I get dangerously bored, basically. That's not good for the people around me.
I understand that. I think I actually
So
said
yeah,
that much in
knitting's
an
my
interview.
first love, but I do love crochet also.
Good.
But that's how I came to kind of figure out something about the wrinkled thistle and where it kind of came from. I needed to do more. Also, it kind of, when I got ill, my husband and I had to give up our house. We couldn't run it all on just his salary. So once I started to get better, it was like, well, I'm probably in a position now that I can start contributing again to the household income. So that's where I felt like there's the wrinkled thistle, I have to do something. I discovered Carol's cool school. And I thought, well, love spreadsheets, love knitting. There's got to be a, you know, she was kind of giving me that kind of bring it all together. So I took her course, which was fab. But once I qualified, qualified past all her incredibly technical challenges, which were brilliant. And really made the brain think. What I discovered was I couldn't put myself out there. Chronic fatigue had kind of left me in such a position of literally I had crippling anxiety. I couldn't go do anything. Couldn't go out there. It was horrendous. And I didn't work with a designer for about over a year after I qualified. Because it was just building myself up to go, it's okay to dip your toe in the water. I was so scared of getting it wrong, of letting a designer down. It was a pretty bad time. That's where the wrinkled thistle started. Thankfully, it's looking a bit better these days.
Oh, no, thank you for sharing that. I mean, and it's really important, and that's the reason I do these sessions, because so many people, they'll look at what you've kind of got and they don't know what you've been through to get there. Okay. And that leads me actually really nicely on to, I mean, can you share with us a challenge that you faced early on, and how's that shaped how you're running your business today?
I mean, the anxiety and huge imposter syndrome has been a massive issue for me. But what I believe has got me through it is finding you and your group of fabulous women, Colin, because seeing behind the scenes of their very successful businesses, they're doing fab things, working with loads of fab people, helping all their customers and clients. And it's not until you kind of see, as you've just said, like behind the scenes, and you go, well, they're just like me. They're going through all the same sorts of things. They're like, God, doing. And it's like, well, actually, we're all in the same boat. We're all got the imposter syndrome. It's that kind of, I don't know. It's just having that group where everybody goes, it's okay. We're all the same. It's fine. You might outwardly look like this phenomenally successful person, but behind the scenes, it's that swan thing, isn't it? Above the surface, you're graceful and everything's lovely. Even though below the surface, it's chaos.
It's the swan syndrome, isn't it? That's it.
So that's a challenge, and it's allowed me. Can I go? The chaos is okay. I can have the chaos. I can have the chaos because I can then sit on that chaos and be outwardly helpful to people and useful in what I produce, and put it out there. Don't be afraid to put it out there. That's the kind of biggest.
No. So I mean, when things have felt really, really tough, I mean, I mean, you've already mentioned, my, membership and the people that you've met, but what else has kind of kept you moving forward?
Honestly, if we strip it right back, money has been a massive motivator. The need to kind of address being out of the world of physical 9 to 5 or shifts, however work you do, being able to step out of that and manage my own time. But I'm motivated by the fact I need to make an income. Crafting is wonderful, great fun. Crafting can be a hobby as well as a business if you can do it. You really need motivation. And for me, bringing in income has been a massive motivation, particularly as my husband has carried us for, since about 2019, I think. So yeah, I really need to give back now in a big way. So that's been a massive motivator.
Yeah, and it can be, and sometimes it's seen as a negative motivator, but sometimes when there's an urgency really attached to it, you do, because it's not just money, it's all of the things that are associated with it. Okay.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's not just a £5 note dangling in front of you. Okay, it's the being able to like keep the heating on, or where you go shopping. Okay, or the running a car. All of these things make a huge difference to to how you're feeling. So yeah,
absolutely. When I was really ill, we had to give up the house, and we actually ended up living in a room in my parents' house. And bearing in mind, this is a small 2-bedroomed house. And it was during lockdown, and we were stuck in a single-bedded room with a double bed in it, trying to live, the two of us, lockdown was hilarious. So getting out of that and getting our own place again and living our own lives again was a huge motivator.
Wow. So then I don't know, actually, I've got here, what beliefs or blocks have you had to push through to get where you are now? I mean, it seems like you've already had to push past a lot. I mean, is there anything else that you've had to kind of, I mean, what about maybe beliefs or blocks? Because you've had quite a few blocks. What beliefs have you had to push through?
So I can do it. It's okay for me to stick my head out there. And I think the biggest belief is it's okay to mess up. It's okay to get it wrong. Because how else do you move forward if you get it right every time? You're not learning anything, you're not growing. So it's okay to go, do you know what? Maybe I got that wrong, but if I own it, I can take it and I can make something more positive out of it. I mean, there's been plenty of times I've had to go, whoops, got that wrong. Let's try and change that path. But if you own it,
I think that's great. Yeah.
If you own the oops, and you can kind of go, okay, well, there's the oops. That was me, fine. Here's how we're going to make it better.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of, because before I was like a perfectionist type sort of person. I can't do anything until everything is perfect, in which case you never do anything. Chilling out quite a bit on that side has been quite a belief that I've had to really get over, to be honest.
I love that. Thank you. So what's a bold move you've made this year that's really paid off for you?
I think so many things. This year, I'd like to say the bold move is kind of putting myself out more. Getting more involved in your group, Paula, Chat with Paula, has been that's the biggest thing. And starting to put myself out on social media. That's been a kind of huge block. That feels like it's starting. I'm starting to make conversations with people more. And it's a lot easier than you think. It's like, just have a conversation. It's okay. And particularly in the knitting, the crochet, the crafty community, 99% of the time, everybody is so supportive. They are so willing to engage with you. You'll get, like on any social media platform, you'll get the idiots who just want to, damp you down. But in 90% of the time, everybody's really supportive. They're delighted to have you interact with them. So it's that's been a bit of a growth area for me, just getting out there and being a part of social media. I'm an introvert, so it's been hard, but I'm getting there.
No, and so many people, they tend to shy away from social media from fear of not knowing really how to use it. But social media is a social platform, and it's not just, it's great to sit and look at it, but you don't often get the benefit. Like you just said, you really do need to be social on social media for it to work for you. So
absolutely.
And it'll be different for everybody, but I'm really glad that it's having a positive light so far with you. So
it is. And I mean, that different. It is true that you need to approach different platforms in different ways. And where I feel most comfortable is Threads, because it's much more chatty. It's very relaxed. And if you can promote stuff, but people are not so engaged when you're promoting stuff on Threads. So save that for Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, YouTube. Save that for the other platforms, and have the chat with people on Threads. It's that was a bit of a learning curve, but it's good. I like that.
Good. So how has your creativity, your specific creativity, helped you to stand out in business now?
I think because I'm spreadsheet geeky, databasey geeky, as well as I love my crafts, I think that kind of mix, which is where craft managers come in, is kind of a, well, I'm not producing items, a lot of items to sell. I will take commissions, but I'm not producing items to sell. I'm not producing a lot of patterns, although I've got one coming out soon. So that kind of crossover to like, how can I help the community be the best they can be? And like, I've got all the database skills. I love Notion. It's just so flipping easy to use. I love it. So how can we, how that was where Craft Stash Manager came from. How can I build something that people will find useful, that will help them manage their massive craft stash that we all have, we don't admit to, and get the best from what they're doing, whether it's a hobby, whether it's they're managing a business. It's what's the best. So that's I think that's my kind of crossover that's kind of made me a little bit different.
Fabulous. Yeah. I remember a conversation we had a little while ago, actually, and I asked you what you could chat easily for half an hour to an hour on, and and all of a sudden, these sparks started flying in terms of what you could do, and it was like, ooh, actually. Yeah, great.
So many possibilities. I loved it.
Yeah, but it's good, because I always say that within a business, your business needs to have various legs. You can be really good at doing something, but if that something doesn't have any need or traction at a certain point in the year, what else are you going to be doing?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you do need to have a few different things all within your one umbrella, of a business, to be able to keep you going at different points in the year. I know that you're very good with ganzis, okay? That's what you said, okay? But you can't just knit ganzis all year. You probably love to, but you can't just knit them all year, okay? Because it's not cost effective for your business.
It's not remotely cost effective. I did a calculation once on even roughly how long it takes to knit a ganzi, on the yarn, how much I would actually have to charge to get some money back. And even if I just charged cost, and I think I calculated it on the basic cost of living, which we've got in the UK at the minute, sort of living wage, I would have to be charging around the £1,000 mark for a ganzi, which, nobody's going to pay.
Are you sure? Have you put it on your website, with a £1,000 to £2,000 estimated price? It's definitely worth it. You don't know unless you ask. Yeah, people can't buy it unless you offer it. So there you go.
That is true. But when you can get it commissioned from other people who are, I think the most expensive one I've seen is a company in Robin Hood's Bay, not far from where I live, and they charge about £450 to £500 for a ganzi, a commissioned one, which it's a steal, but it sounds a lot.
No, but I mean that poor person making it, you know, I mean, do they know that they're working for pennies an hour? I mean, unless they're a super speed knitter, which I mean, it's, you know, but Audrey, I wouldn't have the love, care and attention that you put into it, obviously. So yeah.
Obviously not. I mean, I do knit gansies for another lady, and yeah, she doesn't charge that much. So yeah, it's a in the evening if I've got nothing else on.
Yeah.
I'll do that, but it's not a breadwinner, that's for sure.
No, it's just a fun hobby.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
pocket money.
Pocket money. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Yeah. From when you was a kid, that kind of pocket money, the amount you're going to make from it. Yeah.
Too scary.
You can buy your Freddo, but actually probably not now, because I heard that Freddos are now expensive.
True, yeah.
So what's something that you've learned about yourself as a businesswoman, you know, over the last few years that has really surprised you?
I know a hell of a lot more than I think I do. Things that I think, it kind of started as when I used to run a business way back in the midst of time before I was ill. And I would find myself in boardrooms, and it would kind of almost be an out-of-body experience where I was kind of standing behind me or in the back of my mind, listening to this person say stuff, thinking, she's quite catchy. What's me? Where did that come from? It's kind of like, who is this person? I'd like to know her. She's quite good. So yeah, I think, and it's got better as I've had my own business now, because you just get on with it and you're not thinking too much about it because you just have to do. But I've done a lot more than I thought I would. I know a lot more things than I ever had any concept that I did. So it's been great.
Love it. I love it. Yeah. It's amazing when we're pushed up against the net, you know, what we realise about ourselves. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
it's that confidence thing, because it's not at the time that now it's not at the time that I realise I've got the knowledge. It's when I look back and think, you know, I did all that last week. And, you know, and I managed to get that to work, and I did this, and you're like, okay, yeah, I do know stuff. It's good.
Yeah. Like when you knocked your website offline, okay, and then you was able to put it all back because you knew what you did. You know,
that was a week. That was fun. That was nice. I mean, after a meltdown and some gin, we got back.
But you know, there are lots of Audrey, I remember saying this at the time. Okay, there are lots of people that wouldn't have had the amount of, what's the word I can use for it? Really, is it balls that you had to just go, no, I'm doing this now and getting on with it. Okay, you just did it. You really just got on with it. So
yeah, I mean, it was really helpful that I'd had all the training on DNS, and I had a bit of an idea what the DNS was. I had built, you know, updated my DNS records previously, and it was a surprisingly long time ago. My brain hadn't quite saved it all, but I could go back to go, you know, this is horrific. I've done this. I've managed to get this bit. What do I do now? And then you're like, okay, well, that's okay, and that's again, and you know, building everything back in to make it all work again. I mean, you know, I lost my website, I lost my email, pretty much my entire business online, but I had it back completely running perfectly within 24 hours.
It's like nothing, is it?
You know?
I wonder if AWS can do something like that. Maybe they should call you.
I think they should. I've been, you know, I've got the phone here. I'm waiting. Start with DNS records. Even the experts get it wrong. You see,
they do.
What I took from that this morning.
Exactly.
Even the experts get it wrong.
Yeah, and somebody's getting fired later.
If I can do it, you guys can do it, people out there.
Exactly. Yeah, I bet somebody just tripped over a cable in their office, okay, and just unplugged something. Yeah,
and they haven't realised that's happened. We're all trying to... Nobody's checked the plug sockets.
That's fine. That'll be out on BBC, Sky News, and CNN later today. There you go. Audrey, should we have a few quick questions? Should we see how human you are? Are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
Coffee or tea?
Tea. I am fueled by Yorkshire tea, and I won't have it any other way.
I'm not arguing. Fine.
If I don't have a cup of tea in the morning, the day doesn't work.
My daughter actually always brings Yorkshire tea bags with her when she comes to visit me. Okay, yeah.
I do. I went to my in-laws.
They don't sell it in the shop here.
Oh God! I went to my in-laws recently, and in the kitchen when I went in, there was this little box of Yorkshire tea that had my name written on it. I was like, okay.
But we're like that. I'm the same with Nescafe Gold Blend. It has to be Nescafe Gold Blend, you see. And
that's what you like. You know, you can't just don't mess with it.
When family come to visit, okay, they're not allowed to pass the door actually if they're not carrying a jar of Nescafe Gold Blend. I can buy it in the shops here, but yeah, I can buy it in the shops here, okay. But if they come in, I know they're going to be drinking coffee as well, so they have to pay for their stay. So
there you go.
There you go. Exactly. What's the song that always gets you pumped up?
Do you know when I thought about this? The first thing that came into my head was the Foo Fighters' "The Pretender." It's one of those, and I'm gonna do this type songs. So, yeah. That was. I mean, I had so much music, but that was the one that popped up first.
Fabulous. Okay, what's a word that sums up this year so far?
Roller coaster.
Oh,
I've been up, I've been down, I've been left, I've been right, I've been spun around. Yeah, I think that's this year so far. I'm hoping it's going to be slightly smoother sailing next year.
Good. Who would be your dream creative collaboration?
No, I don't think I've got a named person, but I've been looking at Craft Stash Manager, which I've just launched, and I think it would work even better as a standalone app. So, if anybody knows how to code, because I don't, and that's beyond my capabilities.
Your email's going to fill up now. You're prospecting emails.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. That one particular, I think it is fabulous in Notion, and you can take it with you on your phone. You can do lots with it. But I think as a standalone app, it would be marvelous. The only thing, if it is a standalone app, is it becomes then quite static. So you are given the app and you work with it as the app is produced. Whereas in Notion, you've got the option to completely customize what you want. If you want to see your needle sizes in old UK size, in the metric, and in the US size, or Japanese, or all these different, if you want to, you can see them in all those sizes. It's not a problem. Whereas in an app, it would be either quite cluttered or tied down quite a bit. But I think it would work really well as an app. So yeah, coders out there, come talk to me.
Okay, yeah. Well, there may be an option to build something even, with Horizons from Hosting Up, because they do.
I did think about that, because there's something in there that we could do. But yeah, so I must have a look at that at some point. Add that to the list.
There you go. Add that to the list, yeah. I think that's the most common thing whenever somebody has a chat with me is, add that to the list.
Excellent. I know, every membership call, there's always something else on the list.
Add that to the list.
Lots of ideas being sparked, so it's great.
Yes, yeah, always. What's your favourite way to celebrate a win?
Do I will put on some music and bounce around the house singing loudly. I love music. I love to sing. I'm not a singer. When I'm in my house by myself, I will do it.
You even by yourself. I mean, I put music on and dance around, okay, and sing at the top of my voice whilst my boys are trying to watch television, okay, or play their computer games, okay. So because, they're not listening anyway, really.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's my kind of I'm gonna have I have my own celebratory party.
Good. Good. I like that. My own celebratory party. Okay. So it's only the gin for when things are bad. Okay. But the dancing and the music for when things are great. So.
Absolutely.
All
And
right.
Prosecco,
Good.
of course.
Right. Okay. For good or bad? For I don't know. I mean.
No, probably Prosecco good. Gin when it's like, oh God, what have I done now?
Oh, if I applied that, it'd be gin 7 times a week. Okay. So yeah.
I know, I've got to keep it locked away.
Oh gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
good. So where do you see your business heading next year?
I feel like it's finally taking off. I feel like I've got lots of ideas, lots of things that I can do. It almost feels like this is the beginning. So yeah, I think the only way is up, basically, as Yas said.
Okay, but not on the road.
Yeah.
No.
No. We're just gonna steadily, head up the hill. I'm not going Everest. I'm just, just let's steadily head up the hill and enjoy the view.
Okay, all right. So is there a big dream that you're working on for next year that you can share with us or not yet?
I've got a lot of. I actually had a brainwave at 3 o'clock this morning, which was not fully formed, but it's got to do with Ganzis and helping people with the Ganzi. So yeah, that's percolating in the back of my brain at the minute. But yeah, I've got some ideas for some different Notion templates that can kind of really focus on small businesses, particularly small businesses,
Okay.
and maybe even knitting and crochet designers. I don't know. That one's not fully formed either, but I have a germ of an inspiration in there too.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying, but you're not really saying. Good. Okay.
Okay. Notion, Ganzis. There are things happening in my brain.
Just have to wait. Be
It's
patient. Be
going,
patient.
it's going to be fabulous, of course.
I look forward to hearing about that probably before next year then.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very good at keeping secrets. It's all I do now.
Do people tell you loads of exciting stuff and you can't tell anyone?
I have to keep it all. And I have to act surprised when they say tell everybody. So yay! I am surprised every time somebody says something. I am surprised. You have to trust me, okay? But I'm just known for 5 months. Okay, that's all it is. So yeah. Audrey, if you could give yourself one, your past self, one piece of advice, what would it be?
Take the deep breath and just put yourself out there. Wear the hard hat if you have to. It's fine. You don't even have to wear a yellow hard hat. You can wear whatever coloured hard hat you want. But the other big piece of advice is find a supportive community. Now, whether that's a group of friends, whether that's your family, whether it's a group like Chat with Paula's membership group, but that I think has been that supportive community has been the difference from me having a business and just fudging along doing bits and pieces and nothing coherent and cohesive and not putting myself out there. That I think has been the difference for me. So yeah, take the deep breath, put the hard hat on and just do it. Just get out there and do it.
Lovely. Oh. So as a final wrap up then, what's one message you want to leave with other creative women that are watching today?
Reach out. Just reach out. Someone has been there and done it before you, and they are willing to help you. So if you're not sure, reach out. You might trip, you might fall, but it's okay. There's plasters for those knees. You can wipe the gravel off your hands. You might fall, and in fact, this was something that I can't remember who put it on. I think it might have been Claire from the membership group had put out a quote. You might fall, but what if you fly? That is one of my favourite quotes of all time. I don't know who actually said it, but I love that one. Yeah, you might fall. Okay, but what if you don't? What if you fly? do it. It's worth it. And even if you fall the first few times, you will fly eventually.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing when you realize you can do something. It's, nothing happens. Nothing happens. It's just,
And the world is not going to end.
Yeah. Our brains are the most amazing thing, but they're there to support us. They're there to stop us from being in danger. And unfortunately, our brains see talking to other people and putting ourselves out there as dangerous, even though it's not. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, gosh, what a chat. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you. What an amazing conversation. And yeah, thank you for sharing. I mean, and really, you're so open, and I think it's so important, and you was open and you were sharing about, your challenges, and yeah, it's amazing what happens when you kind of lift that curtain up and you kind of let people in and kind of see what's behind, because I don't think anybody that I work with, even myself and everybody that's kind of in my community, I don't think any of us have just kind of been handed anything on a silver platter and kind of can't go for it. We've all had to overcome something, and because of that, there is a really strong bond between all of us that we understand. And that's why I'm doing this. People need to know that it's okay. You don't need to have a polished, perfect background. It doesn't need to be great. You just have to get going and hold somebody's hand, like you said, find your group and just run. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Find someone it can be one person, it can be a group. Find somebody who's going to be there, push you forward, hold you up, pick you up when you need the gravel wiping off your hands and the plaster's put on your knees.
Or you want somebody to laugh at you. We're there as well for that.
Absolutely. Passing around the gym.
That as well. That one is also really, really important. So really important.
Absolutely.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. And if there's one thing to take away from today, it's this, that when magic meets creativity, brilliance is born. Okay. Audrey's there to show you that. Really brilliance.
Absolutely.
So so stay connected, keep creating, and remember, that there are more sessions coming up this week. So we will see you later on this week. Well, tomorrow we've got another session coming up, and on Wednesday. So just stay connected to the Facebook group or inside YouTube. So thank you so much, Audrey. Okay, bye.